All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Copaiba versus CBD class. And before we get started, I just want to just take a moment to drop into the body, drop into the present moment so that we can learn more, we can open our mind and really be available to what is here for us. So just take a moment to connect to the breath. Breathing in and out. Breathing into the mind and breathing out any thoughts from the day. And then bringing that breath into the heart. Letting go of any worry. And then bringing that breath down into the pelvic bowl. Really dropping into the body. The pelvic bowl is where the seat of the soul is. And just allow yourself to ask your body, ask your soul, why am I here? Why did I show up to this class? What am I really looking to receive from being here? Taking one more breath in and out. Beautiful. So once again, we are here today for to learn about Copaiba and all of its wonderful, beautiful benefits. I love this plant spirit for lots of reasons, and you'll find that out today. But this plant spirit has really helped me personally. Um, when I find that I'm going through depressive episodes, I find that this essential oil, this beautiful plant medicine, helps me from kind of dropping into that rabbit hole that goes into that spiral downward. And so if that makes sense, let me know in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, you can drop it in the comment section. And so not only is this beautiful medicine near and dear to my heart, but this is the common theme with this essential oil. And so we're going to dive into all of the benefits here in a moment, but this beautiful plant medicine also has saved my dog from having to get surgery. So he was born without like the proper knee divots like in his bone in his knees, and so the muscles kind of can slide off. And so what happens is that can be really painful. It can hurt the dog a lot, or any dog who has this condition. And it can cause them to limp, and ultimately a lot of veterinarians want you to have surgery for this condition. And luckily, I'm so lucky that I found a vet that was open to holistic options. And we've had him on a joint supplement, and we've had him on Copaiba. He is 7 years old and he still hasn't had to have surgery. So I give this medicine to him every single day. It's like his immune and de-inflammation medicine. I love it. It's so great. Okay, so welcome. I invite you to come into the space with a beginner's mind. Look for your golden ticket. If you work with me a lot, you know what that means. If you're new to this space and you're new to working with me in my workshops and things like that, I like you to sift and sort through all of the information I'm going to share with you because I'm going to share a lot with you today and find one thing that is going to really help your life, right? So if we learn something with our mind, it doesn't necessarily impact our life, right? If we don't bring it into daily practice. And so I invite you to sift and sort through all the information and look for that one golden ticket. Like you're sifting and searching through all the chocolate bars, the Willy Wonka chocolate bars, and looking for your golden ticket. And so that's what that means. And of course, the more that we participate in these kind of classes, the more it helps our brain to process the information. And so I invite you to get in the chat box. If you're watching the replay, you can definitely drop that in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, I read them and I will respond to them. Oh, and then if you're watching the replay just because I gave it to you personally, you can message me any of your questions. Okay, so why are you here? Why are you here today? And what do you hope to take away from this training? So go ahead and share with me in the chat box. That way I can be sure to go over it with you. And it's good to have an intention so that when you're sifting and sorting through all the information, it's easier to find. Welcome, Tiffany. We're just getting started, so you popped in at the right time. Okay, so yeah, Catherine says I can learn anything I can learn from Boston is always amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I honor you for showing up for yourself. Have to drive. Hey, no worries. Yeah, if you're driving, that's fine. You can just listen to the audio. Okay, so a little bit about me. I kind of told you already my personal story with Copaiba, but a little bit about my background is I am a healer, I'm a teacher, I'm a wife, I'm a pet mom. I love all things fantasy, and I'm really here. My mission is to help healers and empaths really tap into their gifts. So I love working with highly sensitive people, and Copaiba is going to really help you to go deeper into your emotional, mental well-being. And so that's definitely something we're going to navigate today. Our agenda is, this is what it is. We're going to go over the physical benefits. We're going to dive into the differences between Copaiba and CBD. And this is really interesting. You want to pay attention to that part because there's a lot of information that you probably didn't know. We're gonna dive into the emotional benefits, and then there is a protocol that will help you if you want to do an emotional kind of detox. So yay, if you're excited about that, let me know in the chat box. And then lastly, we're going to go over how to get Copaiba essential oil if you don't have it already. But first, if you didn't know this already, and of course today we're talking about Copaiba essential oil, did you know the essential oil business is not FDA regulated? Not that I necessarily trust the FDA, but I put that on there because there is absolutely zero quality standards in the essential oil market. Zero. So you could go to the store, buy an essential oil, and you have no idea what's going to be in that bottle. It's actually disgusting. The fact that someone can put something on the shelf, claim it as healthy, natural, and it is no better than drinking or applying those like perfumes that they make with essential oils. And so to get the results we're talking about today, you really have to have a medicinal high quality essential oil. I love doTERRA. And this brand specifically does everything to make sure that you are getting what is on the label, nothing else, and everything is going to be pure and up to a high medicinal threshold. So I also love doTERRA not only because of the purity, but when I was searching for essential oils to partner with, I ultimately picked doTERRA because of their mission to help the world. And it's my firm belief that we choose with our dollars what happens in capitalism, right? So I try not to buy anything that's going to participate in the fast fashion industry. I mean, there's so much about fashion I could go into, but just as a product on the market, doTERRA really cares about the farmers. They help to build wells and schools and make sure these farmers are well taken care of. And for me, that is huge. So I will gladly pay $5 more for a bottle of oils to make sure that farmer gets paid fairly. So, and there's a lot I could go into about that, but you can always join me for a uh, a foundational essential oil class, and I'll go deeper into that. But today we're going to be talking about Copaiba. Fun fact that Copaiba, some of the doTERRA like scientists call this Copaiba. And when I first heard that, I could not let go. I was cracking up. So I went to convention. Convention is like a yearly event they have at the like their corporate head office, and they put on this amazing show, talk about all the farmers. They even bring farmers to the thing, and they were talking about the medicinal scientific benefits of Copaiba, and they called it Copaiba, and I was like, what? I don't know why. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. So fun fact. Okay, so this is a Copaiba tree. The Copaiba is derived from the Amazon rainforest trees in Brazil, South America. It's harvested like maple syrup. So that's kind of interesting fun fact about Copaiba. If you didn't know what it actually is, it's like a tree resin. And then it smells woody, earthy, and it's slightly sweet. So the physical benefits of Copaiba. So I'm going to fire hose you right now with all this information about Copaiba. If you know anything about CBD, right, they say that it like helps with everything. And it does. And it's because ultimately it's an anti-inflammatory. And if you know anything about dis-ease in the body, it stems from inflammation and stress, right? And so Copaiba pretty much affects everything we do. These are all the different benefits of the physical benefits of Copaiba. So it's a liver and antioxidant support. It's great for cardiovascular health. It helps to sustain proper immune response. It's digestive support. It helps with proper neurological function, proper respiratory function. Fun fact, a lot of people who have strokes work with this medicine. And ultimately, like I said, it's anti-inflammatory. It's fantastic for your skin. So if you want, if you have any redness or any kind of patchiness, or even if you have acne, this is a great one for the skin. I have an entire skincare class. If you're interested in that, I have a recording. You can always message me and I can send that to you. Okay, so this is why ultimately Copaiba is great for the body. It works with the endocannabinoid system. And yes, endocannabinoid is an actual body system. And a lot of what we do on a daily basis is affected by the system. And essentially, you can tap into the system like a key in a lock. The way you do that is there are 3 different cannabinoids founded in CBD, THC, and BCD. So Copaiba is a BCD. And these are in the brain. We have two different receptors, CB receptor 1, CB receptor 2. CB receptor 1 influences our central nervous system. Cannabis works with this CB receptor 1. It affects our appetite, nausea, cognitive function, like memory. And CB receptor 2's influences outside nervous system, aka Copaiba and CBD. So this affects our endocrine system, which, if you know anything about your endocrine system, your hormones literally like affect everything you do, right? Our mood, our stress, not only, our emotional well-being, but our immune system. Our hormones tell the brain what is going on in the body. It's our body's like signals to the brain and essentially tells the body what's going on, or the brain what's going on in the body. So we can influence our body to have strong responses in our body by helping our CB2 receptors. So I know this is kind of a lot of information, but the easy way to remember it is you want to dramatically focus on CB receptor 2s. So what's really cool about Copaiba is that it only affects the CB receptor 2. CBD affects the CB receptor 2, but it might also affect the CB receptor 1. And if you're getting drug tested and things like that, that's what they test for. And so you don't have to worry about that with Copaiba. I am a full advocate for cannabis, and I like to work with both of these. But the interesting part that is really the most takeaway thing you want to talk about, and I forgot to put it in the slides, which is silly because it's like the main thing of this thing. CBD affects the CB receptor 2s in the brain, and so does Copaiba. The thing that makes it different, though, is that CBD has on average about 16%, 16% active cannabinoids. And you're like, okay, yeah, like on the market, like standard on the market, that sounds about right. Like you go and get any kind of CBD, or even if you have CBD, cannabis with CBD, it's going to be even lower, like if it's really high, like 10%, right? And so the cool thing, the girl thing, I might mean girls, I guess. The cool thing about Copaiba is that the active cannabinoids are 60%, 60%. So what's really great is that we can tap into affecting our nervous system with the CB receptor 2 with a high medicinal threshold, right? And so there's also like zero standards with CBD on the market, just like essential oils. And so you have no idea what the medicinal threshold is when you're working with CBD. Oh, I did put on the slide. Ha! Okay. So I just have to learn to trust myself. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of read through this. I know I talked about some of it. So the value depends on concentration and delivery, like what the cannabinoids you get from plants. Like I said, CBD is 16%, Copaiba is 60%, and something might be very effective, but if you don't have a high enough concentration, it can't reach a threshold of activity that we're looking for medicinal purposes. And so, I mean, if you think about if you're working with something every day for your health, would you rather have 16% or 60? And like I said, I am a huge advocate for the cannabis plant, the hemp plant. Like I love these medicines as well. But I also work with Copaiba, right? I try to work with it every single day. I put 2 drops under the tongue. And yeah, and like I said, unless you've got a very trusted source, the quality and consistency vary. So, are you guys still following me? What are your thoughts about this? So, different essential oils contain this cannabinoids. Yeah, it's amazing. I know. So, copaiba, black pepper, melissa, ylang ylang, clove, and oregano actually all have these cannabinoids or cannabinols. Um, sorry, I said that wrong. Cannabinol. But copaiba has such a high level and concentration of beta carotene and can deliver it to the body in a good manner. So even though, you can work with these other ones, know that they will have those in there when you're working with those oils. But copaiba is like your big guns for this type of medicinal healing. And copaiba is way cheaper. There is a medical grade CBD, but it's literally like uh $500 to $1,000 for a very small amount. I know this because one of my cousins had strokes, and her mother chose to work with the medical CBD, and it was insane how much it costs. And so if you're buying CBD on the market, that just gives you an idea of the medicinal threshold of public retail CBD and medicinal CBD that they work with in stroke patients. So, okay, Tiffany says, yes, I love it. I put a couple drops in my water bottle today. Oh, yay, amazing. I can do the taste of Copaiba like under my mouth. It's good and it's like fast, but I don't know if I could drink it in my water bottle every day. Okay, so shake it out. How is this landing for you guys? We're going to move now on to the emotional benefits of Copaiba. So we just talked a lot about everything and how Copaiba works with the body. Now we're talking about the emotional body, right? The spiritual body, the invisible body, the one that we can't see, but like we feel, right? If you get heartbreak, that happens in the spiritual body, and it can very, very, very much affect the physical body, right? If you get a heartbreak, you can feel that in your body. So I will preface with Copaiba is a very intense essential oil. When working with this oil, you want to know that it's one of the big guns that I work with that I pull out when I'm doing energy clearings with my clients. So this oil pulls and uproots most deep-seated issues. Things like childhood and parent issues. If you have anything currently like emotionally active around in kind of these topics, it's going to help you to see and become aware of those issues. And it will help you to be able to resolve these issues because you're aware that they're there, right? A lot of times we have our blinders on. We're like, yeah, this happened and this is solely like what it is. And then you come to find, like, I just had a one-on-one client yesterday, and we worked with these oils, and she came in for the session fully on this one thing, and then we worked with Copaiba. I actually love Copaiba with lemongrass. I find that lemongrass helps to pull it out like so much better than just Copaiba alone. And then by the end of the session, she was like, wow, I thought it was this, but it was really like, this is what's going on behind the scenes. Um, Other essential oils can't do this in this big of a way. So if you're really needing help with any kind of deep emotional issues, this one's going to help you to put yourself in that boat. So I have a emotional support protocol for you guys. do you want to go into how to work with this Copaiba oil in a protocol that's going to help you dive deep into this emotional work? Yes, yes, yes. Great. Okay. If you're ready for change, do it. Don't be afraid of it. You have to fully let yourself dive into this work if you're going to work with Copaiba. Believe me, it is intense, but not intense in a bad way. It's intense in a way of like, if you're feeling stuck, it's going to help push you through that, right? That barrier of whatever's keeping you where you are. So this is called the Copaiba plunge. You could take a screenshot of this. And I like to work with this Copaiba plunge protocol every few months if I find that I have a lot going on. Maybe I'm in a dark night of the soul. But maybe once or twice a year, right? And just kind of depends on what you're going through. You can work with other oils for clearings, but this is the big guns. So step one, you're going to apply 3 to 5 drops of this Copaiba essential oil. Remember, it's going to be pure and high quality. Down the spine, on the chest, on the throat, and on the inside of your elbow creases, right? So like the inside, if you look at my picture, the inside of the elbow creases, that's where we're talking about on both sides. So once you work with this oil, you put it on the body. I like to just take a moment to breathe in. Hold on, my dog's about to bark crazy. 1 second. Okay, yeah, my dog, my husband just got home. I like to just sit with this, maybe journal a little bit, and don't rush into step 2. I think a lot of the times we were like, okay, I got the protocol. I'm going to do this work. I'm going to go through all the steps, and it kind of gets rushed and you miss what your body and your spirit is trying to tell you. And then you'll, you might have a little bit of shift, but it's when we really sit with what the medicine is bringing up for you, that is really where the draw is um, in the transformation. So, a really good thing that you can do is just sit at your altar or go outside and find a sit spot in nature and take your journal out and just let yourself be present to what is available. So this takes, getting to know your body, your intuition. How does your intuition speak to you? And if all else fails, just start writing whatever comes to mind, and you'll be surprised at what comes out on the paper. It's important that you physically write it on the paper. And if you don't want to do this, maybe you could do this protocol with a friend and you guys can do some talk therapy to get it out, right? It has to come to the surface. And if we're just thinking about it, we're not actually pulling it out. Does that make sense? Okay, so after you've sat with step 1 with the actual Copaiba, you're going to move into step 2. So once we clear something out of the energy body, let me go back for a second. I also really love to add lemongrass to step 1, and I apologize for not putting it on there. Lemongrass. So Copaiba helps to pull it up to the surface, and it will pull it up and out, but lemongrass really just sweeps it away. So you can work with lemongrass and follow the same steps, 3 to 5 drops down these places on the body, to really help to push that energy out. Okay, so who's ready for step 2? Once we clear something out of the energy body, it's empty, right? You've taken something out. Now it's empty. And so we can't just leave it empty. And this is so, so, so important when you do any kind of energy work. We want to fill whatever got taken out back up with love and a certain kind of frequency. We want to comfort it. And so a lot of times if we pull out this energy, our inner parts, our inner child is like, whoa, I'm used to that. I'm used to gripping onto that fear, or even though it may not be a positive thing, it's what's comfortable. And so you don't want to shock your system. And the way to soothe the system and to fill it back up with comfort after we've taken this out is by applying helichrysum. This one is my number one essential oil that I love to work with and play with, because it's the liquid Band-Aid. And so this affects the heart. This affects the emotional body the same way as you think a liquid Band-Aid would the physical body. Helichrysum helps to make it so this uprooting process isn't quite as intense. Yeah, you're welcome. Helichrysum helps you to forgive and helps healing of the heart so that you can release the pain and let it go. It's like that cuddly teddy bear. It's that kind of energy. I love working with helichrysum. If you've had any kind of sexual trauma, which I am, I have been in the process of rewiring my body every time after I have sex. So I apply helichrysum to my lower abdominal and even physically on my parts after sex, so that it helps to rewire my body and make it a good experience. I know that was kind of off topic, but I love helichrysum. Okay. So after you move to step 2, yeah, I love that. Yeah, we can do so much with these beautiful oils. Okay, so step 2 and step 3, you can do them one right after the other. Move to step 3, juniper and ylang-ylang. So you're going to, with each one of these, in 2 different steps, right? Put 1 drop each in your hand and just take a moment for about 30 to 90 seconds and inhale each one of these. So work with the juniper, do the 1 drop, inhale it, and then do the ylang-ylang and inhale it. These oils help to calm you down. And you can work with these ongoing if necessary for the next 2 or 3 days after this Copaiba plunge, so that you can soften your nervous system and just kind of keep this energy up, right? So when we clear something out, we help to nourish it. Then we got to build it back up, right? And this is how we do that. We teach our body, we teach our spirit body how to hold on to these new frequencies. And so that's why a lot of the times, if you find you're working with an essential oil for a season of your life, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 2 months, and then you find, oh, I don't need that oil anymore. It's because you've taught your body how to vibrate in those frequencies. And I'm not going to go into that in depth because I have a whole other class, energy work and essential oils, that I go into that process. So it's so important that you remember to drink lots of water when you're going through these huge purges, especially if they're traumatic, right? If they've had a huge effect on you. We reach for the Copaiba plunge when we have really deep-seated issues that we're working through. This is going to help clear this energy from the body. So if you drink the water after you apply the oils, it's going to help flush it in your system. So drink extra water, right? Epsom salt baths every night until you feel like you've worked through all of it. Because this is going to bring up a lot of emotions for you. That's the whole point of the Copaiba plunge. Hey, hi. That's the whole point of this Copaiba plunge, is to bring it to the surface so that you can process it and let it go, instead of it just being stuck, stagnant, and dormant and hidden in the recesses of our brain and our heart, right? once you are free of this energetic weight holding you down, then you can make better decisions, right? You're not making decisions and taking action based off of old limiting beliefs, old belief systems. And you have a better sense of confidence and clarity that you wouldn't have had otherwise. So I love working with Copaiba clients. Make sure that you're really fully prepared and you can make time out of your busy life to really sit and process with what these oils are bringing up for you. How is this resonating with you guys? And Deanna, just for you, I know you just jumped on, you can watch the beginning of the replay because we're almost finished. But I have the replay up on YouTube. Okay. So yeah, so that's what I have for you guys. If you want to know how to get Copaiba in your home, if you don't already, I'm just gonna go through that process here. Essentially, I work with, like I told you, I work with dōTERRA company. They're the only ones that I trust with these oils, just because of their standard and things like that. And so the first option is you could get a wholesale membership. It's a $35 fee for the first year. Then after that, it's $25, and you get 25% off of everything for the whole year. So it's like a Costco membership. And then you can order as little or as often as you want. Or you can get a starter kit, which has all of the same perks as option one. And the 35 fee it's actually waived now. That's actually old information. $35 fee is waived. So if you're looking to get Copaiba, you can get it, and you can get one of these starter kits and then add Copaiba in. You can take a screenshot of this, or you can customize your first enrollment order. So say you want to get Copaiba and you have some other essential oils you want to get. You just have to make sure they add up to 150 PV, and then you'll be able to customize that. Or you can order it standalone with the membership fee. So here's that link for you. This is going to show you all the different enrollment options. Oh, hold on. I don't know why I had a space there. This is how you can enroll with my link. And if you enroll on my team, you're going to get the benefits of being in my community. So we have an exclusive Facebook group that has lots of oil tips, education, and up-to-date dōTERRA promotions. We also have a website that we have archived classes on there, lots of education on there as well. And being on my team, you're going to get my support. So I charge pretty, I don't know what the word, I charge enough that for my coaching and my energy work services and my teaching, that I can get paid well, right? And so my time is worth a little bit. And so when you're in my dōTERRA team, though, it's like none of that matters. You get my support. You get anything that you need from me. If you have, something going on in your life, you're like, Boston, I don't know what to do. What oil should I use? What oil should I work with? I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be a support system for you. So I also give free enrollment gifts to spoil you. I have monthly classes. And if you want it, I do have business support on how to grow a dōTERRA business. So if you sign up with that link in the comments that I sent, by May 17th, you'll receive a complimentary wellness strategy session with me that is valued at $222, which is how much I charge and how much people pay for my services. But yeah, so that's what I have for you. If you have any questions or takeaways, drop them in the chat. I'll be on here for another minute or two to answer them. If you have anything personal going on in your life, I'd love to be a service to you in that way. And I'm going to stop recording. So in case we do have any personal shares, I will not have that, on YouTube or anything. And then here is the free resources. So every month I have a free oil class, like I mentioned. I also have a private Facebook group. So it's called Ascension Vortex for Lightworkers. I post lots of information and trainings in there. I also have a week newsletter, and here are my Instagram and Facebook. So if you want to reach out and get support, that's the outlets you can contact me. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. For those of you watching the replay, have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you next time. Okay, let me stop recording this. How do I do that? There we go.